ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your first of hopefully many YouTube watch-alongs. Obviously, we need you guys to let us know if you're enjoying these. I'm, of course, Aaron Nix. I'm joined by Carl Wilkinson, and our first watch-along is going to be from SummerSlam 2005, and it's going to be the main event between Hulk Hogan and HBK Shawn Michaels. Carl Wilkinson, ready for this? Do you remember 2005 well?
I do. I was a young lad at the time, about 14, so I remember not hating Hulk Hogan for being
14.
I remember,
I was 20.
I remember not hating Hulk Hogan for being a racist leathery basketball at the time, and like he wasn't my hero because I was Canadian. He was still cool, but I was in love with Shawn Michaels, and to grow up knowing why this match happened the way it did is fucking great.
Very quick backstory for you guys, for me and Carl, just basically giving an alternative commentary is all we're doing here. So it's a little something to pass the time. If you're struggling, if you're a little bit bored, obviously you will know who Hulk Hogan and HBK are. Main event at SummerSlam 2005. The build-up's very simple here. It's the idea that Shawn Michaels hates the idea of Hulk Hogan hogging all the spotlight in his old age, which is really funny because Shawn Michaels was getting on. He was starting to get up there in age as well at this point. But ultimately, this is a big deal, this match. And that's why we've picked it first, because it kind of does two things for us. First of all, it's an iconic matchup between two of the all-time legends of wrestling, whether you like them or not. They're very polarizing. You can't deny their status and icons in this business. But also, because the match is kind of funny because of the infamous mentality of Shawn Michaels, who decides to go full oversell in this match. And that's obviously something we're cover. So what you guys need to do, you need to open up the WWE Network or find yourself a copy of this match. If you don't have the WWE Network, it is available at dailymotion.com. Type in SummerSlam 2005, look for Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. If you're on the network, it starts at 2 hours, 19 minutes and 33 seconds, just after the promo vignette. So we're going to count down from 5 to 1, and then right after 1, boom, you're going to press play, and you're going to join us as we look back at SummerSlam 2005. It's Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Look at the size of the crowd, man! So, have you noticed this? They're doing that thing where they warm up the crowd by, teasing them. And there it is. I love how the crowd were chanting for Hulk Hogan and they got Shawn Michaels instead. Like, not a bad replacement, really, is it, when you want one thing over the other?
Look at that. Look at the hair on that man.
He's got beautiful hair, actually, for an older man, hasn't he? I used to love his ring gear. I really liked the cross harness that he had on his chest. I used to think that was really cool. Like, at this point, I didn't hate either guy. I'd gotten over Shawn Michaels, screwing Bret Hart and everything, because obviously Bret Hart was, my god. Do you remember in the build-up to this match, when they were in Canada, in Montreal?
Was this the Who's Your Daddy?
Yeah, there's that, but he also feigns Who's Your Daddy, Montreal. He feigns the entrance of Bret Hart in what has to be the biggest pop for a guy who has never come out in history. If you guys listening, once you're done with this, check out that pop. When they think Bret Hart's coming out, it's on YouTube. It's so wild. The crowd is literally, people are literally threatening to riot. Like, oh my fucking god, people are losing their shit. And Shawn Michaels is like, unlucky. And then he does it with Hulk Hogan's music as well, just to make it even worse. And at the time, I was apoplectically furious because I thought my hero was going to turn up. I remember at the time, I was with my ex and I was like going on and on. I was like, when I was younger, this guy was like my hero, Bret Hart, and this is his hometown, and his music hits. And she's like, oh, is that this guy? Is that this guy? And I'm like, oh my god, it's him. And like freaking out. And it actually isn't him. I got played. I'm 20 years old, mate. I was still marking out. And the crowd chant for the illustrious celebrity basketball that is Hulk Hogan.
Man,
Get your racist ass down here. Lillian Garcia, underrated fitty. Wearing the pink and white.
Fucking people chanted for Hulk Hogan in 2005. Look at that smirk on Sean's face. He already knows what he's about to do. He's like, I'm gonna fucking make his day.
I love that sign. Someone's like, I came from Italy for this match. You came from Italy to watch Shawn Michaels oversell. Congratulations. But you don't know that yet.
Are you a real American?
No, I'm not. I'm English. That doesn't work for me. Although I am a closet American. Anyone who knows Aaron knows I am obsessed with America. Look at the tassels. Oh, let me tell you something about tassels, brother. Oh, brother. Do you remember the promo build up to this as well, where Shawn Michaels feigned a hip injury when he's doing the interview with Hulk Hogan and he's pretending to be Hulk Hogan with the walker? That is fucking phenomenal stuff.
It's like a Larry King interview, like a mock Larry King interview.
Yeah, it's a mock Larry King with giant teeth. And he interviews Hulk Hogan, but it's Shawn Michaels as Hulk Hogan. And Shawn Michaels is like, what you gonna do, brother? And then he pulls his back out. He's like, oh, cramp. And he like faints. Look at that American flag, mate.
Like,
Look
he
at
realizes
the propaganda on show here.
He realizes, like, Shawn Michaels is also American, right? Like, he's not the only American in the match.
He's not facing Ivan Koloff. Look at him.
He showed the shovel? Did he do the shovel?
The shovel. Oh, I'm getting buried here. Bury. This is so good. Shawn Michaels giving out about having to put an older guy over at this stage of his career, showing that he's still that fucking tossbag who wouldn't put over Vader way back when. But I kind of enjoy it because Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That flag, mate. Look at the size of that flag. I bet Vince McMahon has that in his garden every day.
Look at that! Look at all the extra body mass on Hogan, even in 2005.
That's yeah. Well, Roy's wasn't a problem here either. Look at the size of the pectorals. Vince McMahon is right now backstage. This is money. I can't believe they had this as the main event. Not the WWE title, not the world title, which admittedly, when you look at the matches, I mean, Jericho versus Cena for the WWE title, you know how that's going to go. You had Batista versus JBL for, the world heavyweight title, or vice versa. I think one was on the other. But either way, those were the two title matches. So this kind of had to be in the main event. And how Shawn Michaels is going to make a mockery of this, I cannot wait.
I mean,
Hey, you got Jonathan Coachman on comms as well.
Is it the 3-man? Is it JR, King, and Coach?
Yes, I believe it is. Yeah. Look at sure. I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Look, Hulk Hogan's tan, mate. Seriously. Like, the NBA playoffs are on at the moment. I'm pretty sure you could probably donate his skin to the use of basketballs during this playoff series. That is obscene. I mean, you cannot... Do you know what I do miss, especially in this pandemic? That crowd, mate. Listen to that roar.
I know.
That raw emotion. That is amazing. That is not something anymore. And also, you just don't have these mega matchups anymore. We've seen them all. There are no huge stars. And I think Undertaker Cena was probably one of the last ones left, and we got that in a squash match. And I just think the crowd as well don't care as much anymore. Like, these people are invested in this. And this is only, 15 years ago. And you think in 15 years, the life has been sucked out of wrestling fans.
I mean, like, the roar of the crowd is something that is sorely missed. Like, piped in crowd music they're doing in the Thunderdome.
Doesn't work.
No. Like, it's so fake.
What's the greatest thing about wrestling? Organic. That word is so important. You're getting that right now. Here we go, the first tap. I cannot wait for this.
No,
Michaels is about to go full Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart, just less professional. State of your handlebar mustache, mate.
I was going to say, look at
the size of it. That thing's got a life of its own. I love how he used to wear a bandana to try and hide the fact that he was pretty much bald.
Well, I mean, like, anytime you see him now, fucking, you can see the hair extensions underneath the fucking bandana. Like, just accept it. Accept it, bruv.
There he goes. That's probably the most normal sell you're going to get out of Shawn Michaels tonight. It's classic Hogan fare, isn't it? He hasn't changed. Like, this is what, you know, we're a good, well, I mean, we're 20 years at this point removed from WrestleMania 1, which was kind of like, you know, the peak of Hulkamania, so to speak, and then it kind of slowly dissipated over time. I know he did have many years of being on top. The same shit every time. Lock up, throw your guy down. Oh. Brilliant.
The look on Hogan's face, like, I don't think he knows yet. It's going to take him about 10 minutes, maybe 5, because, no, I'm going to say 10 because he's a fucking idiot. So, I mean, we're just, look at him. He's like, I'm going to fucking get you, Michael Hickenbottom. You and your little god, too.
He's already slightly gassed. You can see, that Colorado took it out of me, brother. Should have eaten that cheeseburger, brother.
All 200. What was Hogan going at? Like 285 or 2?
The hammerlock counter into the headlock by Shawn Michaels. Holy shit! You don't even see this stuff anymore. Like what happened?
No, not like chain wrestling like this.
Actual wrestling. What happened to that? That used to be an art form within itself.
The only time you see wrestlers do stuff like that is when their like character is billed as a wrestler's wrestler. Like it's not. Yeah. It's just not something basic that people do anymore.
Even Hulk Hogan with a headlock, he's got one in a very terrible headlock, it has to be said there. Boom. What a shoulder block, and there he goes. There he goes with the oversell. I love that. I was straight out of the ring. I got to admit, I always pop for a wrestler who oversells and goes out over the bottom rope.
Look at Shawn. He's so like... funny. His acting is terrific, because you know he's trying not to just piss himself laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, to be fair, he is one of the greatest, if not the greatest entertainer this business has ever had, despite being an absolute cock end of the highest order.
Yeah, between, 95 and 98, when he got hurt, he was a bit of a cockwobble.
Oh, yeah. What I love about watching this is the fact that we're talking about, like, for instance, when he sold and he went over that bottom rope, that's something Kyle O'Reilly does sometimes. Like, Kyle O'Reilly wrestled Paul Robinson in the Ali Pally, Alexandra Palace in London for Super Strong Style last year that we were at. He was kind of like the surprise, you know, for Progress. And there was a bit where he was doing that thing where he cheats himself and he's like, trying to like power through, and he just kind of collapses and sells by falling out of the rope. Oh, here we go. Boing. Speaking of selling, boing. Oh, and the knackers. This is just comedy gold. Look at this.
Oh, boom. Big right hand after.
Right at the Michaels plums.
This is incredible.
There's something. Oh, wow.
Excuse me. That was incredible.
Yeah, that is. Wow. That is something.
There are wrestlers
special.
now who can't do that flip. There are people now who can't sell like that.
Yeah, it's an astonishing moment. Like, oh wow! Like he jumps onto the bottom rope and then forward flips out. Some hard knife edge chops here. But
yeah, it's a bit.
What the offense? What Shawn Michaels got in offense? Like,
knife edge chops. He got the headlock. I don't know if it was a headlock takedown, but he definitely got just the headlock.
Jesus,
that's the most normal sell that's happened. That big back body. He got caught in the wire.
That's exactly what I
is happening?
The most about that. Is the fact that he just got caught in all. That's just phenomenal.
Look, I think Hogan's starting to realize. He's starting to piece it together.
Slowly, but I still think he's not there yet. Because Hulk Hogan's senile at this point. You could see how the match has been worked around his limitations as well. It's all about, because Shawn Michaels knows he's going to be bumping his ass off anyway. And he knows ultimately that he's going to probably do the job here. And of course, he's throwing his toys out of it. So he's like, right, I'm going to drag this out. But look, he's spending a lot of time on the outside. And the reason for that isn't because he's been a cockhead. Well, I mean, it is. But it's also because Hulk Hogan needs time because he's already gassed at this point. Hulk Hogan hasn't been known for his engine since, early 80s when he was doing his New Japan run? Oh my god.
Has he ever really been known for it? Like, I've never associated Hulk Hogan with long, stamina-driven matches.
No, even when he had a high work rate, you can go back and watch some of his, to be fair, this is some of the best work I've seen him do from this era. He was pretty dreadful. Everyone remembers the 2002 Judgment Day match with The Undertaker where he couldn't be chokeslammed and he just fell over.
The worst chokeslam that has literally ever happened.
Yeah, well, that's 3 years removed from that. We're 3 years removed from that at this point. And Hogan, though, I will say one thing, he's moving pretty well for a man of his age and his useless nature. But, like we mentioned, his work rate has never really been there, apart from NJPW. But the one thing I will say is a lot of historians have said this, guys like Jim Cornette, Hulk Hogan never had to have a high work rate. Because it was all bluster. Have you ever watched his match with Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6? Like, it is
the Ultimate
ostensibly
Challenge.
A joke. There's nothing going on in that match. There's barely a move to speak of, but the entertainment value, the sheer level, here we go, the sheer level of it kind of makes it what it is. It's a spectacle. It's not a match. Yeah, slap him in the face, Sean.
Oh! I'm not going to call it a slap. I'm going to call it an open hand palm strike.
Yeah, the disrespect. There's a lot of knife edges going on in this match. Hulk Hogan's hair, he's starting to turn into... I was just about to say the Doc from Back to the Future. He's getting there. He's like, we've got to go back to 1988, Sean. That's when I could still work. It's just one of those. Oh my god!
And it's only like half the. Oh my god! But it's only like half the hair because Christopher Lloyd had more hair then, so it's just kind of like the bottom
Lloyd
half
is
of his hair.
actor. I'm just saying. Christopher Lloyd could sell a chokeslam. I bet he could take a decent chokeslam off the Undertaker.
I mean. Yeah, I feel like, did Goldberg take a chokeslam? Is that how their match at Super Showdown ended? Because I never watched it, because I've never watched the Saudi show. I think it was a really bad chokeslam.
Yeah, it was horrible. I've only watched it once, and I've tried to eradicate it from memory, although we're probably going to have to end up... If this thing gets popular, or people are enjoying this commentary, I dread to think what kind of things... Because I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this, feel free to leave in the comments below what matches you'd like to hear us cover, particularly myself. I recommend Vince McMahon matches because you get a lot of Vince McMahon impressions out of me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to beg you guys now, don't always give us shit matches. Like we'll watch them, but, definitely try and give us a nice, healthy collection of incredible, memorable matches, and then, train wrecks like this.
Well, yeah,
let's try and even it out.
Let's not forget as well, obviously on our audio podcast, which you guys can download at your leisure, it's all available at WrestlePlug.com. We do a lot of Manic Mondays, which is our throwback podcast where we cover a lot of old pay-per-views, and we did the entire year of 2004, and, we've done a lot of great things like WCW's famous moments and things like that, so always worth checking that out as well, just in case. But there's a lot of stuff we haven't covered, which we're always happy to, and these are just fun, something entertaining for you guys who are maybe listening on YouTube. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're appreciating the artwork you can see on the screen as well, and just hearing our voices and watching this ridiculous chaos.
Yeah, I think Hogan just no-sold like a steel post shot. He just fucking walked completely across the ring. Like he didn't drop, he didn't fall.
The steel post is me, brother. I'll kick out of one hard, brother.
He doesn't fall down. He can't take a back bump because if he does, his back is going to fall apart.
I mean, look at the way he just threw Shawn Michaels off. He's selling the punches, but not that much. They're kind of trying to tell you this story of how Hulk Hogan is so huge by comparison. But the thing is, there's not a great deal of difference, particularly in height. Obviously, Hogan's got a bit more weight on him. You can see that. There's not a huge difference. I'm not looking at Shawn Michaels right now like I was when he was wrestling The Undertaker and thinking, wow, he looks like this hilarious underdog, this chippy, bulldog. Instead, he just looks like a guy who's, for me, watching this match, Michaels looks like the slightly younger, insecure guy in the gym trying to have a fight with the ridiculously old man who can't stop powerlifting because that's all he has in his life because his wife divorced him.
I mean, divorce is possibly better than died, I guess, depending. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, a little bit of divorce, a little bit of steroids. What are they doing? Yeah, mount him. Mount his face. That's right. Stick your
Shove
dick in his...
cock
Oh,
in
wait.
mouth.
Alright, let's not make it too over right now. Also, it is Hulk Hogan, who, Bubba the Love Sponge is nowhere to be seen at this point.
Yeah, now there's his wife, apparently.
Oh, Hulk Hogan is busted wide open. Let me guess. He's clearly blading himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's a hell of a blade job, actually. There is a lot of blood coming out of him.
Hey, he's got nothing on Eddie at Judgment Day.
Well, no, but nobody has. That's unfair. Like, that kind of thing could have... Like, I've seen, some pretty graphic horror movies that would struggle to keep up with that tend to flow.
Yeah, that was worse than the torture porn horror movie genre, which I'm not a huge fan of.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan of that sort of stuff in general. This is torture enough watching Hulk Hogan. One thing I will say about having that bright hair, and it's something that Ric Flair just absolutely was iconic for, the crimson mask where the blood gets in the hair. It's a real image. It looks fantastic. I've got to say, I was expecting this to be an utter joke. And although it's not exactly an in-ring classic, it is entertaining. It is Definitely. An icon. It is, Shawn Michaels is working, albeit ridiculously. Plus, he's still wearing his chaps.
Yeah, doesn't he? He usually doesn't by this point.
He normally takes those chaps off. I don't know if they put it on his gear more, but normally he does whip those things off. The Heartbreak Kid, who's still breaking hearts in his 40s, apparently.
He's always been an attractive man.
Do you remember the sleeper hold, man? That used to be a thing as well.
Roddy Piper.
Although it's, if nowadays, if somebody did something like, this is fucking boring, rest hold, whatever. But the one thing I will say is, this does give me that nostalgic little feeling, that little buzz. I miss those little things. The arm coming down for the free count. The way somebody would get you in a headlock, whip you off the ropes, boom, shoulder block. What happened to the International? What happened to the hammerlocks? The little things that helped fill out a match. It wasn't just, let's start a brawl, or let's start on the outside and rip off the announce table. I like that little bit of build-up. I miss that quality of wrestling, even from the worst matches.
The thing about Hogan matches is you need to have a rest hold like this, because that gives him the excuse to hulk up.
Look at the blood, though. Look at Shawn Michaels' arm. Holy shit. It is pouring out of him. That is pretty graphic.
Chris, you remember, they drop the arm 3 times now. You drop the arm once nowadays, that's it.
Yeah.
They only give you a 1 count now.
Yeah, I quite like that because they've clearly lent that from MMA, which of course is more of a, you're out and you're done. Oh, big back suplex, not bad as well. Look at the amount of blood. My lord. That's another thing as well. I will say one thing. When you see blood now, it's a big deal. Because it's not as commonplace. And it was way too commonplace at this point. Everyone's blading like crazy. We're not too far away from, Vince McMahon dropping that edict of no blading anymore, because obviously sponsors and the move from TV MA14 to PG-13, so to speak, that kind of shift.
Yeah, we're still 3 years from that, though. Because I don't think it was until around 2008.
Yeah, obviously, I think, as the story goes, Batista was the first one to really get hit with that when him and Jericho, got colour. Oh, there it is. It's the classic nip-up.
I always popped my tits when Shawn did that. I loved his elbow drop is so crisp.
He does have one of the... for me, Randy Savage will always have the greatest elbow drop. But, the way Shawn Michaels does his, the way he kind of switches the arms as he drops the elbow, and is very nice. It is something to behold.
I know Bailey's elbow drop isn't awful.
It is if Hogan doesn't move out of the way and start hulking out. Oh, there he goes. Shit! There he goes.
He finally realized
he's bleeding. Cereal, brother.
No, he's just finally realized he's bleeding.
That's what wakes him up. He's got the...
Here we go. This is it.
Oh, ref. Come on, ref. State of that.
Do you think that was on purpose?
I think it was, yeah, because he would have been aware of that spot so well. We're talking about, I don't know if is it Mike Yoda, the ref?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is, but it's way too telegraph for me. Oh, there he goes again. I can't get over the amount of blood that's on Shawn. You'd think he'd be bleeding. He's still, I'll give him credit, he is in magnificent shape at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. No elbow drop. Or maybe he's realised that Hulk Hogan's the wrong side. Oh, I know what he's going to do. Yeah, he's such a little cretin, isn't he? He'll never let it go. And we're still, 5 years removed from Bret Hart coming back to
I think it was
WWE finally? Yeah, so... Oh, yeah, so you never were able to get in quite as well, were you, Sean?
I mean, look at those fucking fat tree trunk legs. I'm not even necessarily saying that's all fat, but I mean, Hogan's legs are fucking massive.
Hey, I've seen Yokozuna in the fucking sharpshooter, so Shawn Michaels has got no excuse.
Well, I mean, that's because Bret did it.
Well, yeah, exactly, because Bret knows what the fuck he's doing. That is the weakest looking sharpshooter I've ever seen. Look at it. He's basically just laying there.
It's because he can't do anything because Hogan's back would actually snap.
I don't want to hear excuses. Stop making excuses for a terrible sharpshooter, Kyle. You're Canadian. You of all people, this is your national maneuver, mate.
I'm not saying I'm proud of it.
You're all trained how to execute the sharpshooter at birth, are you not? I'm pretty sure that's mandatory.
I can execute a great sharpshooter, yeah.
As soon as you shot out of your mother's womb, it was a demand of you. You must do a proper sharpshooter.
I gave a sharpshooter to my umbilical cord.
See, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you came out and literally your mum had you in a sharpshooter. That's how they give birth. You have to be in the sharpshooter. You get your significant other to put you in the sharpshooter, boom, out shoots a child from your fanny.
Yeah, there's no storks or sex in Canada. It's a sharpshooter, babies.
Yeah, and if you're very lucky, I won't draw that for the art for the cover of this YouTube video. Because that would be oh my god, I'm going to have to do that now, aren't I? Oh my god, these refs are terrible. Where are they? That was actually quite a harsh bump. He went hard into the ref there.
Yeah, I don't even remember which ref
that's
that
Chad
is.
Patton. Do you remember Chad Patton? Wow.
I do. Okay, I do now, yeah.
Yeah, Chad. Who's next? We're going to have El Hebner come down, aren't we?
Is Charles Robinson still around here?
Ref. Possibly.
Look at all the blood on the canvas, man.
I know, man. Wait, stay in his selling. I must admit, though, still better than most. At least he's selling it. Most of the guys now are beautiful. Right in the holster plums.
Beautiful. Oh, look at that legitimate steel chair. Oh, 2005, guys. Hell of a year, wasn't it?
Get the foreign objects.
Hogan don't do foreigners.
Hogan no, thank God. That's why he hasn't got a black chair, mate. For that exact reason. It's a slightly beige chair, because let's be honest, when you get to a certain age, beige is your friend.
Oh, I guess this is also the year of unprotected chair shots.
Oh my lord. I mean, to be fair, he kind of glanced him, didn't he? Oh, look at the leg shake. Look at it. There goes with the leg shake. That's Devon Dudley territory, that is.
Oh, yeah, anytime he goes through a table or some shit, just full body seizures.
Do you think they've stopped doing that now because people probably find it offensive? Because you know how we're in this ridiculous snowflake generation of everything's offensive. Do you reckon some epileptics has probably voiced it and said, yeah, that's offensive to people who have seizures?
That's because then they start stuttering because they're having a seizure?
Yeah, exactly, because they're watching WWE and they're being blasted with pyro from the Thunderdome. And if you're offended by that, well, welcome to our brand of humour.
Have you ever been to a WWE show when pyro goes off?
Yes, I have. Yeah. They used to a lot of the British shows. I've seen quite a lot of Raw and SmackDowns live. I actually got to witness what he's voted the greatest Raw match of all time: John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, the one that won an hour.
You can actually see me in the crowd.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that at some point. It's a long match, but it's worth it. That is a special match. Boom! That is a beautiful super kick, to be fair. But you know what? You can see he's going to kick out because his arms are underneath his chest. Look,
he's going to throw Shawn off.
That is a fantastic oversell as well. I must admit, the overselling hasn't been nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was ridiculous in a couple of places, but it's not as regular as you remember.
Yeah.
This is why it's so cool to watch these things back all these years later, because I remember it being ridiculous. And,
it was...
people have cherry-picked it. People have cherry-picked those moments, because actually, all in all, it's not ridiculous, or at least it hasn't been up until now.
I distinctly remember this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Hogan's shtick, isn't it? Like, you.
Watch this big boot. Watch this fucking big boot.
Yeah, that might be slightly a bit over the top. Here we go. Is it time? Is it time to end Shawn Michaels' career? Which he's still twitching on the floor. Oh my God. Seriously. The amount of time it takes. There it is, the big leg. He's fired on Shawn Michaels' head. Will he get it? And yes, he will. One leg drop. Immortal. Done and dusted. Do you know what? That was actually a lot of fun. That wasn't a bad match at all. That's probably the best Hulk Hogan match I've seen of the modern era.
I mean, yeah, well, thinking back, he had, was it WrestleMania 19? He had the match with Vince?
Yes, that was pretty good as well, to be fair. That was pretty, no, was it 19 or was it 22 or 23?
23 was Battle of the Billionaires, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it's before that, isn't it? But I'm not sure if it is 19. No, I don't think it's 19.
Because I know 18 is Vince.
No, 19 is my favourite thing. No, but what, do you think this is, the Vince McMahon match is better than this, do you reckon?
I mean, I can't say Vince McMahon's a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels.
I mean, no, it's not happening, is it? No. I mean, I gotta say, crowd red hot. Like, there's a lot more positives than negatives for me. I don't know about you. I enjoyed that. Like, there was good blood, decent enough storytelling. I love Shawn Michaels being an absolute obnoxious little prick. Like, I loved it. Like, everything kind of works. I loved it. He's still kicking off. Is this their mutual respect moment?
I think so.
Oh. They do love that, don't they? After you've had the iconic clash, a little bit of respect.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan versus Vince McMahon in a street fight happened at Mania 19. I knew it was
It was Mania 19. Wow, completely over my head. It's funny, that's my favourite card of all time. I mean, there's some great matches on there. And there's also a terrible world title match, but less said about that, the better.
I distinctly remember the Michaels Jericho
Shake my hand, because that's what Jesus wants.
We're both men of Christ.
Shake my hand. You're darker than me. How can a man who is that colour be racist? That's ridiculous.
Hogan's like, you fucking do this again, I will slit your throat in your sleep.
Look at the difference in the physiques, though. Like, it really is a change of the era, isn't it? The one thing I'll say about Shawn Michaels, look at the size of him compared to Hulk Hogan there. When they shook hands, you saw it. Hulk Hogan really does represent that old era, that steroid era. The ridiculously over-the-top.
Excuse me, there were no steroids in the 80s? How dare you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I must have been mistaken.
How fucking dare you?
I mean, Shawn Michaels loved a pill, but obviously not a steroid. So, it is what it is. Allegedly, of course. I gotta be honest, I thought that was entertaining. I did.
I really had a lot of fun with that, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, fun. Not bad. Let us know, guys. Let us know if you enjoyed it as much. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. It's so weird watching that back. I kind of said to myself, I'm not watching a Hulk Hogan match for a long time, and yeah, that was excellent. Good. Not a bad main event, actually, to close the show. Not a bad main event at all, considering that, this was a show that had, Dominic Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio with Dominic's custody on the line, that famous ladder match. You had the Undertaker out there. I know, right? The only thing missing from this is another heel attacking Hulk Hogan at the end as like a big kind of like holy shit moment. But they wanted that big go home happy moment, didn't they? And they kind of gave the crowd that. The crowd were behind Hogan. They were hot for him. They were hot for him, Meryl.
Well, it's a lot like Mania 18, like between him and The Rock. Because realistically, Hogan was supposed to be the heel. The NWO, were a lethal.
Well, yeah, they ran him over with an ambulance, didn't they?
And then,
so that's another one we'll have to cover, because the energy and electricity of that match from Toronto is just amazing. Not to mention it's in your backyard, bruv.
It's the Sky Dome, baby. Or what is it now? I don't remember what. It's gone through like 3 name changes since.
Hogan's gassed just doing this. He's knackered. He's like, oh.
But he's got to do the pose. Fucking look at that. He can't even hold the pose because if he seizes his arms too long, they're just going to fall off.
I'll be honest with you. Looking at him with his face on it and the way he's kind of like got his big lips and he's all sweaty and blubbery, he kind of looks like he's been buried in a woman's period for the last hour.
Yeah, right. I was about to say hanging out right with Brooke, and then I remembered that's his daughter.
Oh, that's not good at all. That's not good at all. We're going to leave it there. That's a horrible way to end it. Thanks for joining us, mate. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed that cheeky little alternative commentary of Hulk Hogan vs. Shawn Michaels, do not hesitate to let us know if you'd like to hear more. Give us some suggestions as well. If you did enjoy it, we're more than happy to check in with your suggestions. So leave them in the comments below. And you know what? You might just be lucky enough to hear us, or unlucky, as the case may be. You might just be lucky or unlucky enough to hear us commentate or give an alternative commentary on your favourite wrestling match. So, catch you next time.